Let me set the scene for you, because you're not going to believe how fast a regular day can flip upside down when a little power, a quick snap judgment, and a whole lot of silent history come crashing together in the worst way. This isn't just about someone missing a flight or getting their feelings hurt. It's about what happens when you walk through life always having to prove you belong, until the day someone tries to shut the door on you, not realizing you've got all the keys. So picture this: Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, the kind of place where chaos is the soundtrack. Rolling suitcases, loudspeaker announcements you can barely make out, folks hustling like their next hour depends on it. There I was, Zara Maliri, fresh out of a 5-year marathon for my PhD, carrying a diploma in my bag that felt more like a medal than a piece of paper, and for the first time in my life, about to turn left when boarding an airplane. My parents insisted I fly first class, called it a celebration, said I'd earned it, and for once, I let myself believe them. Now, if you've never flown first class, you need to know, it's another world. I was dressed the part comfy black joggers, clean white sneakers, my favorite cashmere hoodie, headphones around my neck like armor. Just a regular young woman, but walking with a little secret pride in my step. I got to the gate early, settled in with a view of the giant 777 that would take me to London, and tried not to stare at the folks who looked like they'd done this 100 times. That was her, every bit of her. Sharp blonde bob, eyes like she's always looking for trouble, voice with the snap of someone who's already had enough for one day. She started calling for pre-boarding, military special assistance, then first class only at this time. Heart beating a little faster, I got up, joined the line. There was a man in a suit, a golf club-looking couple, and then me. I handed over my phone with the digital ticket, offered a polite smile. And that's when the air changed. Karen looked at my phone, then at me, did this slow up-and-down scan, and pulled a frown so small most folks would miss it. But I saw it because I'd seen it my whole life. "This is for first-class boarding only, ma'am," she said, and I swear, you could taste the condescension in her voice. I told her, calm as I could, "Yes, I know. My seat's 3A. She didn't even glance at the ticket, just kept staring like I was in the wrong movie. "You'll need to step aside. General boarding will be called soon." You ever feel invisible and hypervisible at the same time? Like you're being judged and erased in a single breath? That was me, standing there, blood pounding in my ears, but I kept my cool. "If you look, you'll see my tickets for first class," I said, tapping the screen. She let out this sigh, heavy as a door slamming, snatched my phone, her nails clicking against the glass. "Sometimes people get in the wrong line. Happens all the time," she said. Like I didn't know where I belonged, like I'd stumbled into a place I didn't have a right to be. And for a second, I thought, maybe if I just explain, maybe if I just show her, but I knew that look, the one that says, "You don't fit the picture I have in my head." So I stood my ground, firmer this time. "My name's right there, seat 3A. You can check it." That's when she demanded my ID, then the credit card that bought the ticket. I looked over at the couple behind me. No one had asked them for anything. My hands were starting to shake, anger and humiliation mixed up inside me. "Why are you asking me?" I asked, still trying to keep it civil. "Policy," she said, like it was a magic word. "We have to watch for fraudulent tickets, especially for premium seats." But we both knew what she meant. The line behind me grew. People started whispering, the guy in the suit groaned, "Just move aside." My face burned, but I swallowed the rage, tried one last time. "Can you scan the pass or call a supervisor?" Bad move. Karen's face turned to stone. "Step aside, or I'll call airport security," she threatened. Just like that, I was no longer a customer, I was a problem. I felt every stare as I walked to the empty spot she pointed to, as if I'd failed a test I never asked to take. I tried to remember my dad's words. "Don't let them make you the aggressor. Be smart, be prepared, and if all else fails, call me." So I did. My hands shook dialing, but when Dad picked up, the tears I'd been holding back nearly won. "Dad, I need help." Now, you need to know something about my dad. Marcus Mallory isn't just any dad. He's the Deputy Administrator for Aviation Safety at the FAA. In that moment, he went from being at some boring government meeting to my champion in a split second. "Where are you, Z?" he asked, voice calm, steady, the kind of calm that means someone's about to move mountains. I told him the gate, the agent's name. "Stay put, be polite, record if you can." and don't say another word. I'm 10 minutes out, he said. He wasn't joking. He walked out of that meeting, asked a colleague to secure the security footage, called in a car, and put on the armor he saves for when rules get broken on his watch. He walked through the airport like he owned it, but not with arrogance, just with that kind of silent authority that says, this stops here. When he arrived, he didn't come straight to me. He went to the podium, stopped the whole boarding line, and asked Karen, can you explain the disruption with my daughter's boarding? She didn't miss a beat, said I was belligerent, that my ticket was fake, all lies delivered with the confidence of someone used to being believed. My dad didn't raise his voice, didn't flash angry, just let her talk, then asked calmly for the evidence. What irregularity did you find in the system when you scanned her ticket? She stammered, said the scanner couldn't read it, claimed it was likely a counterfeit. Dad pressed her. So, you're officially stating Dr. Zara Mallory's first-class ticket, purchased through your airline, is fraudulent. She stuck to her story, and right then, she signed her own fate. Karen called her supervisor, David Chun, hoping for backup. David showed up, tried to smooth things over, but Dad wasn't playing. He introduced himself, stated the facts, and let them double down on their story. When they were done, he quietly pulled out his FAA badge and laid on the tablino drama. Just wait. You could see the panic bloom on their faces as it sank in who they were dealing with, not just an angry parent, but the man who could ground planes and end careers. Dad told David to pull the boarding pass logs and CCTV footage, right there, right then. The log showed no skin attempt on my ticket, no error, no rejection, just nothing. The video? It caught everything. Me approaching calmly, Karen's refusal, her dismissive gestures, my quiet insistence, her waving me away, never once even tried to scan my pass. The room got real quiet. David tried to apologize, but it was too late. Dad called in the airline station manager, filed a formal DOT complaint, ordered a federal investigation, and made it crystal clear this wasn't going to end with an apology and a voucher. Karen was immediately suspended. Her supervisor, too. The company launched into damage control, but the story was already rolling. The video, the logs, my dad's testimony, there was no hiding, no spinning, just the raw truth for everyone to see. Turns out, over the last few years, the airline had buried dozens of similar complaints, minority passengers humiliated, accused of fraud, always shut down by the same people. My case blew the doors wide open. The FAA launched an audit, the DOT fined the airline millions, and suddenly every TV network and social feed in the country was talking about how a single moment of bias at a boarding gate exposed a system built to protect itself, not its passengers. Karen tried to sue for wrongful termination, but the evidence was airtight. She was blacklisted, her career in aviation over. David, the supervisor, was fired for enabling the culture. But my dad's goal was bigger, wanted the system to change. And it did. The airline was forced to overhaul all customer service training, install new protocols for disputes, bring in outside experts, and allow real-time appeals. For the next 5 years, they'd be audited every quarter. Employees quietly called the new anti-bias rule the Mallory Accord. 6 months later, I'm sitting in my London apartment, rain tapping the windows, thinking back on that day. I wasn't just fighting for a seat, I was fighting for dignity, for all the times people like me are told we don't belong. And the only reason justice was served was because my dad had the power and the will to demand it. I wonder, what if my dad hadn't been the deputy administrator? Would I have just been another case swept aside? That thought haunts me, but it also gives me a sense of responsibility. My privilege that day wasn't my seat, it was access to someone who could force fairness. The best part? The legacy lives on. That training manual my dad signed off on, the Pathway program, is now standard for every airline employee. The story of what happened to me is used in real-life training, not as a horror story, but as a lesson. Don't judge, don't assume, don't abuse the power you're given. People call it karma, but really, it's accountability finally. So let me ask you, was what happened to Karen and her supervisors justice, or was it revenge? Is it enough to fix a broken system, or are we just putting a Band-Aid on a wound that needs real healing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you think stories like this matter, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because at the end of the day, we all deserve a seat not just in first class, but in the world we live in.